Let's dive, however, into our earlier game tonight. You called it. You said the Celtics were going to force a Game 7, and they needed Jason Tatum to do it, and that's exactly what happened.
The man stepped up. He's a young star, and he showed why tonight. He stepped up. He was absolutely spectacular. He was dancing on cats. He was taking it to the hole. He was big boying dudes that were smaller than him. He was taking taller dudes, slower dudes outside. He made 7 threes. He finished with 46 points, and Giannis had 44 and 20, and Jason Tatum still outdueled him. It was nothing short of a sensational performance, living up to all the things we suspected he is and was frustrated by when he didn't show it to us.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The Garden is going to be rocking on Sunday, okay? And look, when it comes down to Game 7s, you're losing sleep. It's no sleep. Nobody's able to get a good night rest, ready for the moment. But I will say this. If the Bucks think it's going to be some sweet walking into that Garden, you know how rowdy it's going to be. I feel like Jaylen Brown is going to rise to the occasion. And by the way, I put the jank on the Bucks tonight.
I will say this to you. The Bucks won Game 1 in Boston. They won Game 5 in Boston. The Boston Celtics damn well had better not lose 3 games at TD Bank Garden in the same playoff series. That would be something. I don't know if that's ever happened.
It is all on the line tonight. A pair of Game 6s, beginning with the Freak. He has scored 116 points the last 3 games on the doorstep of the conference final. But Jason Tatum may have other ideas. He is scoring over 31 a game in this series. Can he force a Game 7 tonight? It's time to find out. Let's count it down to Game 6 on ESPN right now.
He's a winner. Drew Holiday's a winner.
Drives immediately to the rim. Goes up, shot blocked by Holiday. He's picked by Holiday.
It's been a rough couple of days, but I'm good.
We did it to ourselves.
And this is a serious rout.
To use our players' phrase, we deep.
Never want to put a limit on this team because anything's possible.
I believe in this group. If anybody can do it, the Celtics can.
It's great to win the game. It's great to go back home, but the job's not done.
You're not ready to come play next game, then don't step on that court.
Welcome to NBA Countdown, presented by Mountain Dew.
This is going to be a good night. We're at the Seaport District. We are brought to you by Heineken, and we are sending our very best to our colleague and teammate, Jalen Rose, who's at his daughter's college graduation tonight, Stephen A.
That's right. You know, but first of all, congratulations to him and his family. It proves 2 things. Number 1, he's got a brilliant young daughter.
Yeah.
And number 2, he's getting old.
That is for sure true. But the big fella, Kendrick Perkins in his heat tonight, and Micah Wilbon will be with us in just a moment. And let's get it started. Our opening tip tonight, the Greek has been getting his freak on. Giannis has imposed his will on this series against the Celtics, leading all players in points, rebounds, and assists. Last 3 games, as I mentioned, he's got 116 points. Only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar ever had more over a 3-game span in Milwaukee history. Even with those performances, this series has been incredibly close. Last 3 games, all single digits. Milwaukee has won 2 of the 3. Game 5, a major missed opportunity for the Celtics, who led by 14 in the 4th. Drew Holiday came through in a big way for the Bucks with a block and a steal in the final 10 seconds, both of them against Marcus Smart. And so the Celtics find themselves with their backs against the wall. And so Michael Wilbon joins us. Stephen A., I start with you. Who needs to be the one to step up for Boston tonight if they're going to force a Game 7?
Well, that's easily Jason Tatum. There's no question about it. You've got a situation where Jaylen Brown is averaging like a point or 2 less than him at about 22 a game, but he's shooting about 48 from the field, 48% from the field, 41% from three-point range. We've made a lot of noise about Jason Tatum because we're all very fond of him, his game, his evolution, the whole bit. We know how ultra-talented he is, but in this particular series, although he's at 24 points a game, he's shooting 39% from the field. He's shooting 30% from three-point range. That ain't gonna cut it with somebody as efficient as Giannis. Even though Giannis isn't as efficient as he typically is in this series, the bottom line is he's efficient enough, and he is coming. Last time it was a Game 6, a closeout game, Giannis dropped 50, 14, and 5, as in 5 blocks in an NBA Finals game, hitting 17 to 19 free throws. The man is coming, and Jason Tatum needs to step up and do something to stop it. Period.
Feels like an opportunity, though, Michael Wilbon, as one who's covered the sport for so long. This is a great opportunity for Jason Tatum to elevate all of this to the next level.
It is. There's no question about that. This is when you see players emerge and you look back in 5, 10, 15 years and you go, oh, yeah, game 6 on the road. But I'm going to go a different direction than Jason Tatum. I'm going to Marcus Smart. Because Marcus Smart, if we remember, with the change in the Celtics started, to me, when Marcus Smart publicly challenged Tatum and Brown and said, these guys have got to be better. And so we could go back to that point because it's shortly after that, their defense got better. They got better as a team, all the units. And Marcus Smart, though, he had those failed plays in Game 5, getting his shot blocked by Drew Holiday along the baseline, which could have put a basket that could have put the Celtics ahead. And then, of course, getting stripped on what turned out to be the final important play of the game. So Marcus Smart, I understand what Tatum and Brown have to do. They got to do what they've been doing. Going 1 for 8 and then having those failed plays, Smart's got to be better tonight.
Big Perk.
You know what? I agree. Smart has to be better. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown has to do their thing. But Grant Williams has to be the X factor. With Robert Williams being out, he has to go in there and help in the paint, clean up some of those boards, and take a load off of Big Al Horford. How about, the way that he was defending Giannis? And also holding those corners, holding those spots. So when Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, or even Marcus Smart is driving and kicking, he got to be ready to knock down those three-point shots. And he has to bring that energy. He has to.
Could I throw the name Ime Udoka into this conversation as well, who I think is one of the absolute best coaches in the sport? But this team has struggled all year long in clutch time minutes. It shouldn't be a surprise that they have struggled at the ends of these games. They were 29th in the league in that area, and they've got to find a way. Maybe this is on the coach. Big Perk, I would ask you as a player, is it on the coach to make sure that when these games are being decided at the end, that the best players, i.e. Tatum and Brown, have the ball in their hands?
You know what? It's a little bit on Coach Ime Udoka because he got to let the others know to be stars in their roles. But it's on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Greeny, Stephen A. Wilborn, listen, I played with a whole lot of Hall of Famers, okay? I remember when things got tight in the fourth quarter when I was in Boston, it was KG and Paul, two-man game, and we told them, don't pass the ball. This is what you get paid the big bucks for. When I got to Oklahoma City, Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, Cleveland, Kyrie Irving, and LeBron James. When they get to the fourth quarter, look, don't you kick that ball out. Take it over.
Well, let me say this. I mean, not to question your memory in any way, Kendrick Perkins, but I do recall Ray Allen touching the ball on a few of those occasions. Let's not leave out that Hall of Famer sniper that he was. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to go with you, though, with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And to answer your question directly, Green, I'm going to tell you what the problem is. The ball, either the ball is in the wrong hands or the wrong shot is taken. Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown rarely in crunch time situations are getting to the hole. They're shooting perimeter shots. Or, like last game, the ball